We're back and welcome to the Tennessee Valley this morning, 6:48, and we're glad that you've joined us on this Friday. Looking forward to a good weekend, except for Monday.
Yeah, except for Monday.
But hey, we need the rain. That's okay. I'm here with Alan Mincy, my co-host from the United Way, and Michelle Baker, who has often been my co-host, but today she's a very special guest as we talk about a very relevant topic that we really haven't talked about on the show since the Pat Summitt announcement that she has been diagnosed with early onset type dementia.
Yes.
So we thought it would be appropriate to spend some time talking about that, especially since our friend Michelle is involved in that industry, and it was sad news from Pat.
It really was sad news, but you do have to commend Pat for her courage and her family's courage. This is often a disease that can be very embarrassing to both, you know, the patient and to their family. So I really commend her for her courage in wanting to come forward and let everyone know what's going on. And it's really brought the disease to the forefront so we can talk about it and try to find a cure for it.
Yeah, and I think if that wasn't maybe what she had in mind, to try to shine some light on it with her national stature and you know, she's a household name.
Exactly, exactly.
To try to shine some light on this disease, because as you say, we sometimes do want to just kind of hide it. If someone, family members got dementia or Alzheimer's, we don't talk about it a lot. But it's something we should talk about.
It is something we should talk about. I work closely with the Alzheimer's Association, and they were saying last week after we were talking about the diagnosis that Alzheimer's disease now is in the research process where breast cancer and different types of diseases were 20 years ago.
Really?
You know, it's not as much in the spotlight, but with, you know, continued focus on it, you know, we're starting to see a better cure rate. The sad thing about Alzheimer's disease right now is there is no cure. You know, I heard an interview with someone saying, well, if anyone can fight this disease, it's Pat Summitt. Absolutely, but unfortunately, there's not a cure.
You can't fight it.
You can't fight it.
There is no cure.
You know, there are medications that can slow the process, but there is no cure, and that's what, you know, the Alzheimer's the Alzheimer's Association is working for, is to try to raise funds to help find a cure for this.
My mother-in-law, as I said earlier, Alan, that about every family that you know is somehow impacted by this horrible disease, whether a friend or extended family member, somebody you know has Alzheimer's.
Exactly.
And my mother-in-law suffered with it for 15 years, so I know a little bit about it and what it does not only to the victim, but to the family. And it's horrible. It
is horrible, and you know there are several myths about Alzheimer's disease and different types of dementia, and one of those myths I think is that families feel that they can take care of that resident at home alone, and that is really a huge misconception because families have to have help. So many times I see caregivers give out before the resident does, before the patient does.
And I've read some things, Michelle, that even those the primary caregivers who do this for an extended period of time, it even shortens their lifespan.
It does, by several years, actually. So, you know, that's why I think getting the help, whether it be a daycare, whether it be in-home sitters, whether it be a Clare Bridge, you know, our community, getting that help is so important. I tell families all the time that we have a staff of, you know, 30 to 40 doing what you're trying to do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so it's so very important to take care of yourself.
Well, describe to our viewers who may not know, what is early onset dementia?
Early onset dementia is no different than regular dementia or regular Alzheimer's disease. It just starts earlier in age.
Pat Summitt's 59.
Pat Summitt's 59.
If someone's 80, you kind of expect it. Well, they're
now
old.
That's another myth of Alzheimer's. That's another myth of Alzheimer's disease. A lot of people truly believe that memory loss comes with aging.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't. It is not a normal part of aging. How many people do you know that are 90, 100, and you can say they're sharp as a tack?
My father-in-law was 99 and sharp as a tack.
Exactly. Memory loss is not a normal part of aging.
Oh.
Now, what can happen, it doesn't necessarily mean you have Alzheimer's disease or a type of dementia. It could be several different things. It could be an infection. It could be medications. It could be side effects from a different disease. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have it. It just means you need to go get evaluated to see what it is and see if it can be reversible.
So we have no idea what causes it at
No.
this point. It
No.
just happens.
It just happens.
Is this something that is seen, or you realize it more as the person who has dementia or Alzheimer's, or the family members who are seeing?
It's
their loved
a
one?
combination of both. Early in the disease, usually the person that has it, they'll say, "I just can't remember like I used to." You know,
Well,
but-
I have that problem.
Well, and I do too. I find the older I get, the more I can't remember.
Yeah.
But you know, there are different things. Losing your keys
Yeah.
and then finding them, or
Yeah.
remembering, oh yeah, you know, being able to retrace your steps.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Okay. Well, I feel better.
Losing your keys and not being able to retrace your steps and
Yeah.
know where they are, that's when you need to look at getting
Okay.
evaluated.
What are some of the warning signs? Let's delve a little deeper.
We talked a little bit about the keys,
Okay.
you know, that type of thing. Not actually taking care of yourself as well as you did before, thinking that you've bathed when you haven't, that can be an issue. Personality changes are a big warning sign. Someone who was normally very, you know, calm and cool, suddenly becoming angry very quickly.
Yeah.
That's a warning sign. Not being able to do things that were done normally very easily. But you know, you can't do those anymore. That's a warning sign. Any kind of changes like that, that's when that person needs to be seen by a medical professional.
Is there a certain type of medical professional?
Normally, just a medical doctor can recommend a neurologist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and all of those people kind of need to be involved with certain residents. You know, we're all individuals now, so that will not change with a person with Alzheimer's or dementias. They're still going to be an individual. And what a lot of people don't understand is with the disease without a cure, you don't try to cure the disease, you treat the symptoms. And with the disease can come behaviors, you know, different things will happen.
I saw that with my
and
mother-in-law.
yeah, lots of behaviors, lots of violence sometimes, agitation.
And it was strange because she got to the point that she didn't know who I was, or anybody in the family except her daughter, who was my wife. And she couldn't remember anything. She couldn't. Excellent cook. Couldn't remember how to cook. But she had always been a churchgoer, and we could sit down and begin singing some of the old hymns, and she'd sing every word.
Every word.
Verbatim, every word. And I just found that to be the strangest thing.
It is amazing, amazing. I have residents at Clare Bridge that cannot speak sentences,
Yeah.
but you put on Amazing Grace,
And
and,
they'll sing
they
every
will
word.
sing every word.
Isn't that something?
It is amazing. It is
The
amazing.
mind is really a mystery.
It is. It is.
What happens
It
to
is.
the mind.
But yes, all those medical professionals need to be involved because everyone has their own specialty, and they can help treat the different symptoms that come along with the disease, and it changes.
And there is medication now that slows the disease.
Yes,
Is that correct?
That is correct. Aricept and Namenda being the two most common, and it does slow the disease process, but it can't stop it.
Yeah. And now we've got an annual event coming up, Michelle,
Yes.
and I know you're very involved in that.
Yes.
In fact, I was your guest yesterday at Kiwanis Club, and they talked about this yesterday.
Yes.
Issued a challenge to the Rotary Club, so you were hearing it here first, folks. And that had to do with the Alzheimer's Walk. So talk about that.
Yes, the Alzheimer's Walk will be held October 1st this year. Really excited about it. Of course, like I said earlier, the Alzheimer's Association is very involved in raising funds to try to find a cure for this. And it will be held at Cleveland High School.
Yeah, at the track?
And they're changing the route this year. We're
they?
gonna go down the Greenway this year instead of
I
on the
love
track.
that.
And of course, we do take our residents to the event. They have a little more difficulty walking, so they'll be able to walk on the track.
Yeah,
But
October 1st.
October the 1st.
Should be good. It's my birthday.
It is your birthday, so you can come and celebrate your birthday at the Alzheimer's Walk.
I'll do that. Well, I'll bring a cake.
Okay,
We'll celebrate.
I'll bring you a cake. But yeah, it's really going to be a great event. And actually, Clare Bridge in Wellington Place is going to be sponsoring another event. Part of what we want to help families do is recognize if a loved one or even themselves, if they're having issues with this very early. So on November the 15th, we're going to be a screening site for the American Foundation for Alzheimer's, and we're going to have a local psychologist come in and conduct memory screenings. And after you have that first screening, that's when you can go on and do some further testing. So,
fantastic.
So we'll talk more about that later, I hope. But
yeah. Well, you're going to be back on as a guest sometime soon, I'm sure.
Or a co-host.
Or a co-host. Yeah, I meant to say co-host.
Next Friday. I think next Friday.
Next Friday. So we'll talk about that then.
Okay.
But talk about Clare Bridge. It's the only facility of its kind in Bradley County.
In Bradley County.
And there's a real need for that.
There really is, and there's going to be a growing need for it. I read a statistic the other day that the first group of baby boomers turned 65 this year, and it is predicted that half of the baby boomers will either have Alzheimer's disease or will be caring for someone with the disease. Half.
Oh.
It is incredible, the numbers that are growing. So Clare Bridge is an assisted living specifically designed for people with Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah.
Once the residents get to that stage of the disease, they require more direction, more one-on-one. Oftentimes they require a secured environment because they'll wander. They have no perception of safety. That's what we do. We give them the safety. We engage those residents, keep them busy, give them a moment of success every day.
And it's a secure environment.
It is a secure environment.
They can't wander away.
They can't leave, yeah.
You can feel very good that your loved one is safe.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. It's a wonderful community.
Michelle, we're out of time. We have to take a break.
Okay.
But there's more to talk about, but you'll be back next Friday, I understand, as my co-host.
Yes.
See, we're planning ahead here, folks. Aren't you impressed? And we will continue this topic because it's a very relevant and important topic that we need to talk about. Michelle Baker, she is the Community Relations Director, or whatever she is.
Community liaison.
There you go. That's a big word.
It is a big word.
For Clare Bridge, and we're just thrilled that she is knowledgeable about this topic and able to share that with you today. And we'll see you again on Friday.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Got to take a break. Don't go away. It's 69 degrees, 7:01. Back in a moment. And we'll learn about the Red Clay Arts Festival. Stay with us.